So you just landed in Amsterdam, and you have absolutely no idea what you can do whilst in Amsterdam for the day or the couple of days that you are there. Well, it's very good that you clicked on this video, because in this video, I am going to discuss the things that you can do in Amsterdam, things that I advise you to do, and some things that I advise you to, if you can and if it's possible, depending on what you're influenced by, avoid at all costs. And this is going to be quite an interesting one, as someone who has been to Amsterdam. Well, I can't even count it on my fingers anymore how often I've been there. And it's a fun fact, because I'm actually going to Amsterdam in literally 2 days' time. So whilst I make this video, a lot of the things that I'm speaking about is a lot of things that I will be doing in Amsterdam, and a lot of things that I would avoid in Amsterdam. And let's get into it. Number one, what is a thing that you should do in Amsterdam? Well, I think it's very clear, very obvious that if you go to Amsterdam, you've got to smoke weed. I kind of feel like that's just a mandatory thing because, well, you may or may not know, but Amsterdam is literally the most busiest city in the entire country. It is super busy due to the fact that, well, recreational drugs are allowed. As other words, they are gedoogd, they are accepted. You can kind of look at it as the same as being drunk on a bicycle. Is it allowed? Absolutely not. Is it sort of accepted? Yeah, it's accepted because you're not really driving a vehicle, you're driving an object. But nonetheless, if you go in Amsterdam, I want you to go to the local coffee shops. Now, the reason why I say that is because when you land in Amsterdam, you are bombarded by businesses that sell marijuana with a crap load of neon lights. Now, why that neon light sign thing is a very big thing is because, well, it's kind of a way to attract tourists. You see a colorful bright light, a colorful bright sign, or multiple signs, and you're intrigued by it, so you go and head towards it, and you're entering, unfortunately, 9 out of 10 times, actually, if I could say so, 10 out of 10 times, you're entering a commercial restaurant or a commercial coffee shop. Now, a lot of times there's nothing necessarily wrong with them. It's just if you want the original, authentic, good, high quality marijuana, you've got to go to the local coffee shops. Now, the local coffee shops I will not be naming, unfortunately, because, well, the truth is, I don't want to get sued. Because, yes, you actually can get sued for defamation and whatsoever. This country, bro, people get sued left and right. I would love to name the coffee shops that I think you should avoid, but pretty much avoid any coffee shop with shitload of neon signs and whatsoever outside that claim to be the best coffee shop, because the truth is 9 out of 10 times they're actually the worst coffee shops. Or not just only that, if you want to go into a coffee shop where majority of people are locals, you kind of want to go out of the center, about 5 to 10 minute walk, and then you'll find a much more calmer street, and often there are the locals, and when you ask them, they go there for a reason, because, well, the weed often is higher and better quality, and sometimes even cheaper than the tourist places. Let's talk about the Anne Frank house. I have been there only once, and I'll be very honest, I would never ever go in it again. If I could make the choice to have never entered it, I would have saved my 20 euro, because what a waste of fucking money and time that was. Quite disappointing, if I may say, frankly, and that is due to the fact, well, first of all, the lines are insane. You often have to, unfortunately, get online and get tickets because, well, the rows are fucking ridiculous for a goddamn house that, unfortunately, half of the house has been modified or closed that you can't even enter. So it makes you kind of wonder, what's the point of a historical house where a little Jewish girl got murked in, and you can't even visit most of the places? You can't even visit the attic. You can't visit certain places. You're not allowed to touch the stoves and shit like that. It's like, I'm not a goddamn tourist. I'm born and raised in this fucking country. If I want to touch a toilet, I'll go touch a toilet. But all jokes aside, very disappointing due to the fact you cannot record in the house. And it's very disappointing. As someone who loves vlogging whenever I'm in Amsterdam or in any foreign country or place, I want to show and be able to showcase my viewers like, hey, this is the house where the little Jewish girl got killed in. Or, well, she didn't get killed in the house. She had this whole fucking crazy story written in it and whatsoever. The history, yeah, it's very sad. If you get into the house itself, it's a very sad feeling that you get, like sadness, you know, because it's the history behind it. But you cannot record, and unfortunately, I cannot explain to you why you're not allowed to record. We asked people that work there. They wouldn't answer my question. So when I entered, I was like, oh, I got told cameras and phones not allowed. You're allowed to have it in your pocket, but the entire house is filled with fucking cameras. Every goddamn corner you go. So yeah, filming there, I guess illegally or against I don't know if it's even against the law or if it's just a policy in the house itself, but you simply cannot record, which was very disappointing because, like I said, I wanted to showcase my viewers and be able to show you, like, hey, this is the house that everyone speaks about. But the truth is, as well, it's it's just a house. It's just like any typical Amsterdam house. It's not really that special, except for the story behind it. But for the rest, if you take the story away from the house, it's literally just a house. And the tour is done within 15 to 25 minutes, depending on how fast you go. If you want to really be able to enjoy it, and if you're really fascinated about the history of World War II, did I just say tour? Yes. 30, 35 minutes. But if you don't really give a flying fuck, you just want to get through it quickly, 15 to 20 minutes if you're lucky. Okay, so another thing is, what I suggest you to do is a cruise canal. I think these are very, very cool. The only thing that really sucks with cruise canal tours is there are so many competitors in Amsterdam claim to be the best, this and that. So for a unknown tourist that has never done any of these things, it can be very overwhelming, and it's highly likely that you pick the first one that you see because you're stressed that no one else does it. Listen, buddy, every motherfucker sells the exact same goddamn thing in Amsterdam in every shop, even if it's candy, if it's clothing, if it's food, even if it's a canal tour cruise. You also have the option to smoke on one. I don't think $35 is worth smoking on a boat. Matter of fact, I'd hate to smoke on a boat. I get nauseous. I don't do that. When I smoke, I want to relax on a chair, listen to some music, or be with my buddies. I don't want to smoke on a boat personally, but that's a personal preference. If you like to do that or would like to experience that, then definitely do that. Do know that you have to take your own weed with you. They don't supply weed itself on those boats. Anyways, I think it's very cool because you get to see the other side, I guess, from Amsterdam, and that is the close personal up from the houses and, as they call, the grachten. It's very cool. Now, when it comes to duration, it really depends on what tour. You've got tours that are 15 to 20 minutes long. You've got canal cruise tours that are 20, 40 minutes, and maybe even up to an hour. Do know the longer, the more it costs. But often you do get beverage included. I even went in one a few months ago with my friend. We were really, really high on the boat, by the way. I mean, that's obviously what you do when you're in Amsterdam. You smoke weed. You cannot enter the city without having to try weed. And we had unlimited drinks. So, we had 2-3 beers, and we were quite far, but in a good way. And that's another thing that I want to talk about is the food. I strongly advise you to save your money because those 2 days or 3 days that you're in Amsterdam, and that's also another thing, I don't advise you to stay longer than 2 days because there's fuck all to do, man, after 2 days. Because you've kind of seen everything on the first day. You can literally explore Amsterdam within a few hours and you're kind of done. You've seen it all. So whenever I do go to Amsterdam, it's nothing. It's as we say in Dutch, het is gewoon niet boeiend. Het is gewoon een drukke teringstad met veel teringtoeristen. That's how we say in Dutch. It's a city with a fuckload of tourists, and yeah, it kind of ruins it as well for us Dutch people because due to the high rise in tourism, the prices have gone up. So I'm not a tourist, but I get fucked over just like a tourist because tourism attracts more money. So the most simplest food is going to cost you a crap load of money. So, for instance, when I was in Amsterdam a few months ago, I haven't been there in a couple of months. TikTok is a phenomenal platform for businesses to grow, especially if you're in the big cities, right? It's a huge market opportunity to expand your business and potential revenue. Well, there's this shop, I don't know what its name exactly, but it's a sandwich shop in Amsterdam, and I had heard of it, but that's kind of about it. I thought, all right, let's try it out. Looked at the menu. Here, come close. €15 for a fucking sandwich with some beef and cheese on it. So I looked at my friend. Damn, that's heavy. For a tosti. With some meat on it. I'm not paying €15. We were like, we can split it. $7.50. Alright, cool. You have to go in a whole entire row across the bridge. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm not doing that for some goddamn bread. If you want to enjoy Amsterdam without having to spend money every single goddamn time you go out, go to the Jumbo or the Uppie. Albert Heijn. You can literally buy breakfast for €3-4 per person. You have €15, you can eat like a king in Amsterdam. Because that's also an unfortunate thing. The food places in Amsterdam, a lot of places are just very disappointing. I kind of find like most places aren't good. I've been to quite the amount of restaurants in Amsterdam, and especially in the mid-center of Amsterdam, they just fucking suck in general. They really suck. They're not high-quality restaurants in most cases. It's a lot of Argentinian restaurants, which, by the way, I would avoid because They are one of the, if not most, disappointing restaurants because often the meat's not frozen, it's thawed. So what they do is, sorry, the meat's not fresh. So they thaw it in. Fresh meat, frozen, and unfreeze it. Fucks up a nice piece of steak. I've had that once that I had a burger at a Argentinian restaurant. The most disappointing cheeseburger ever. It had one slice of cheese, no onions on there, no pickles, no egg, just a plain bread with nasty, horrible, which was very obvious, not fresh beef, and some fries. €10.50 for that. I'm like, for €5, I could have literally just gone to the Jumbo and get half a kilo of mince and made it myself. So yeah, when you go in Amsterdam, again, the places that are super flashy and super colorful, avoid them because 9 out of 10 times they're overpriced and they're not worth the money and your time. Save your money, just go to the Jumbo and have a normal croissant or something. It will do the exact same thing filling wise. Let's talk about the candy shops. Now this is a very interesting one. This is kind of a 50-50 because, well, this is kind of the theory with candy shops all over the world. There is a thing said about candy shops that it is a, how do you say it? Witwaspraktijk. So a lot of people claim to say that candy shops are there for money laundering, pretty much. And I've got to say, that wouldn't surprise me because look at it like this. A candy shop doesn't make much money during the day. The candy shops, they all, and I'm telling you, all of them stay open until the late morning. So they're open at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And they are open for like a day sometimes. They make a lot of money when people are drunk and high. And that's another thing. Partying in Amsterdam, I unfortunately just simply cannot speak on. I've never actually gone out in Amsterdam because unfortunately the mayor of Amsterdam has kind of fucked up the entire purpose of Amsterdam as a city. You see, Amsterdam is known for its large amount of people that like to party and smoke. Unfortunately, there are new rules getting implemented. They have already been implemented. The red light district, for instance, for a lot of those who want to ever visit Amsterdam, you're unfortunately never going to experience that because it's going to get replaced and put somewhere else near a school. Very inappropriate, if I may say so, and it makes no fucking sense. So what they're going to do is the red light district is going to get out of the center and going to be put up more north, so out of the city, which makes absolutely zero sense financially and location-wise. Why are you putting a red light district with sex workers near a school is the first question. And why? Well, the simple answer is the people that live in city Amsterdam, they've had enough of the pollution and the noise. You live in a fucking city. You chose to live in a goddamn townhouse. No one forced you to live in an expensive €1,000,000 home. You chose to live in a very, very busy center. That's your choice. You know what goes on with that. You live in a city, you got no fucking choice but to have to accept that there is going to be noise and there is going to be pollution. That's unfortunate reality. I don't agree with it. So if you want to experience the red light district, you don't have much time left. You don't, because they are seriously going quick. And it's unfortunately that the decision of the mayor and obviously the people in the city Amsterdam, which, again, I don't get it. These people all chose to live in a city center. There are consequences by living in a city. You will have noise, especially in the weekend. Good fucking lord. You can expect people to get drunk, but that's the nice thing of people that are high. Have you ever seen a person that's high on marijuana act crazy and weird? Absolutely not. That's the nice thing. Look, I do agree the booze thing is a whole different thing. When you get super drunk, people can act aggressive and act different. Look, when I'm on booze, I'm in a great mood. I get happier. I am more approachable for people. But that's kind of about it. But everyone responds and reacts different to alcohol. So I kind of get that point. But for the rest, Amsterdam has been known. The city, the heart of Amsterdam, has been known for hundreds of years. Because the story and the truth about the red light districts, a lot of people don't even know this. It's been there for hundreds of years. Guys on boats that used to be gone for many weeks, many months. Back in the time when you had no cellular device, nothing. A lot of them had wives. They come to Amsterdam. They have sex with sex workers, and bam, they continue the thing. So yeah, I think it's a very stupid move of the mayor of Amsterdam. But then again, no one likes her. I don't like Femke Halsema. Not a fan of her at all whatsoever. I'm not going to say anything that's potentially offensive or whatsoever because, well, the truth is, I can get arrested Yeah, bro, it's a serious thing. If I would say, for instance, something really bad about her family, or I wish certain things happened to her, yeah, I can get arrested for that. So I'm not gonna say my honest opinion, but do I like her? Absolutely not. I honestly wish she wasn't the mayor of Amsterdam, because then a lot of things would be way better in Amsterdam. And that's also another thing. I don't know if some people go to Amsterdam with the car. Don't go to Amsterdam with your car. A lot of places are inaccessible, and it's fucking expensive. You don't want to know how much it's going to cost you parking in Amsterdam. It's ridiculous. And all my Dutch people know that come from Rotterdam, etc. You don't take the car to Amsterdam, you take the train. Whenever I go in Amsterdam, I park my car at a certain location that is free to park. And from there upon, it's 45 minutes with the train to Amsterdam. Perfect. I made that decision one time to park in Amsterdam. €60 for 1 day parking. Yeah, €60 for 1 day of parking. It is very expensive, and it's not worth it. Even if you go a day shopping, just take the train if you're able to. It's just not worth parking. But yeah, that's kind of the video. I almost forgot to say, one place that I strongly advise you to skip is the ice bar. It's not worth the money. The experience is super boring. And it's extremely cold to the point that within 2 minutes of being in the ice bar, you don't want to be in there anymore because it's so fucking freezing cold. And it's like a lot of places in Amsterdam are simply not worth the hype nor the money. You've got to realize and understand Amsterdam is very smart. Everything is aimed for tourism. So you are a stupid tourist. They see you and they're like, only a tourist is going to pay $30 for this. A local or a Dutch person would never agree to pay this because they know tourists got a lot of money and tourists are just, they're stupid. They'll pay for anything. It doesn't matter how much it costs. But we Dutch people, we're greedy. If something is €5 too much, we'll be like, no, I'm paying that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.